our journey at the World War II Museum. Come and join us!
Made you alert in a hurry even after being up for 2 days. One clock and then another. We instructed grenades on the Japs until our arms were clear.
And fear sets in. Your mouth is dry and your heart is racing. And what the hell you do for?
Teetering on the edge of defeat, the Marines managed to hold their grip on the enemy's field. The Americans land the first Army reinforcements, but the enemy lands even more troops. The Japanese strike the American perimeter from 4 different directions. Combat is furious, non-stop. But the battle-hardened Marines and the inexperienced Army reinforcements again hold the airfield. Sickness and
The Philippines, Pearl Harbor, bombing over the rising sun of Pearl Harbor, Japan attacks Malaya and the Philippines. Japan smashes US and the Philippines. Bataan collapses. US and Philippine forces go Bataan. The Philippines lost a tornado in the rift blow by our forces. This happens in the Philippines in 1942.
Formosa or the Philippines.
Gwapo gini sa ano eh. Pinasang pita-pitaan ba?
5 days later, German General Alfred Jodl meets with military leaders from the United States and United Kingdom and signs a document of unconditional surrender to all the Allied powers. The war in Europe is over. Allied soldiers, relieved, celebrate the end of the killing. The Nazis' dream of a 1,000-year Reich is finished. The streets of Berlin lie vacant, obliterated, littered with bodies. Cities throughout Germany lie in ruin. Dresden, Aachen, Cologne, Dusseldorf. Across Europe, entire neighborhoods, villages, and cities are damaged or demolished. London, Warsaw, Stalingrad, Rotterdam. Centuries of human hope, knowledge, aspiration lie buried under rubble. Whole families, schools, synagogues, communities vanished with little trace. Death made so common, so everyday, the numbers so vast and inconceivable, they are rounded off in hundreds of thousands, even millions. For American soldiers, some will join the fight continuing in the Pacific. Others will remain to oversee post-war Germany. Together, these men and women will share a bond of pride, of courage, of sacrifice, forged on the battlefields of Europe as they fought to free us from the darkest of tyrannies and restore a sense of hope to the world.
And there was complete silence. Could that be the end of it all? Ah, yes. There it is. The Germans are surrendering.
5 days later, German General Alfred Jodl meets with military
States. The president's speech unites a previously divided nation, but the news only gets worse as Japan begins attack after attack in an attempt to dominate the Pacific.
And just now comes the word that a second air attack has been reported in Manila.
We have just received word here that Guam is in trouble.
The Japanese overrun American and Allied territories across the Pacific. Americans are terrified. Fear spreads. Japanese spies are presumed to be everywhere. New attacks imminent.
The Army announced tonight that unidentified planes were over at Los Angeles, and the planes have been sent aloft to determine if they were enemy aircraft.
Just 8 weeks after the attack at Pearl Harbor, a panicked nation rounds up its Japanese-American citizens and ships them off to internment camps. Japan continues its assaults in the Pacific as Americans tune in to follow the fate of their troops. The news from the Philippines isn't good.
They're not there yet. We are waiting for God only knows what.
A month later, the entire Philippines is lost.
Damage terrific. Too much for God to take. The white flag is up.
The Japanese force the surviving Americans and Filipinos on a brutal 5-day, 65-mile march. Thousands of POWs perish at the hands of their cruel captors during what becomes known as the Bataan Death March. On the other side of the world, things look equally dire. Germany has conquered most of Europe. Their U-boats dominate the Atlantic, sinking one helpless American merchant marine ship after another. The confident Germans even dare to stalk us in the Gulf of Mexico, hunt us off the coast of North Carolina, and chase us amidst the shadows of New York City. Until, by mid-1942, they have destroyed 500 of our ships. The situation is desperate. The United States is in danger of losing the war. A war America is ill-prepared to fight. What Americans do have, however, is resolve.
No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory. The unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Days later, Germany two simultaneous paths to the bomb. Uranium, already theoretically proven, and plutonium, a newly discovered element which may also split apart. Groves chooses Oak Ridge, Tennessee as the site for mass production of enriched uranium. Near the Clinch River in the Appalachian Mountains, the location provides isolation and huge amounts of hydroelectric power. Next, Groves picks physicist Robert Oppenheimer to develop a bomb research facility in the mountains of northern New Mexico at Los Alamos. Then, at the University of Chicago, a monumental breakthrough. In a squash court under the football grandstand, Enrico Fermi's team tests the first self-sustaining fission chain reaction. For the first time in history, scientists successfully unleash and control the power of the atom. Soon, a site for plutonium production is selected in Hanford, Washington, chosen for its proximity to the Columbia River and government-funded hydroelectric dams. Meanwhile, the community at Los Alamos grows, the population doubling every 9 months, as scientists gather from around the world to work on the bomb's design and trigger mechanism. The pace of innovation at a rate never before seen. Researchers are confident that the uranium bomb, with its simple gun type of trigger mechanism, is going to work. But the plutonium bomb has a more challenging trigger design, an implosion that bursts inward to compress the plutonium until it explodes. This bomb requires testing. Preparations begin for detonation of the world's first nuclear weapon in the summer heat of the desert at Alamogordo, New Mexico. Inspired by the poems of John Donne, Oppenheimer names the test site Trinity. The boom is heard hundreds of miles away. The explosion, equivalent to more than 20,000 tons of TNT, creates a light so intense it causes temporary blindness as far as 9 miles away. The blast so hot, it scorches the desert floor, turning it into a glassy mineral, later named trinitite.
For a moment, I thought the explosion might set fire to the atmosphere and thus finish the Earth.
Most experiences in life can be comprehended by prior experiences. But the atom bomb did not fit into any preconceptions possessed by anybody.
We thought of Alfred Nobel and his hope, his vain hope that dynamite would put an end
The nuclear genie is...